This is part of my steam collection. We'll start off with the 1925 Case 65 horsepower traction engine. The castings and drawings were produced by Cole's Power Models out of California. I bought the casting set in the early 70s. It's completely functional, has been hydro tested to 120 pounds. I tried firing it with coal and wood originally, but the Firebox is just too small to work with. So I built the kerosene burner kit that came with it, and it works satisfactorily, but I ended up making a propane burner, and that works very well. The factory logo and the case logos I created in my art program. The factory logo was taken off the internet, and then I made my own decals. Next up is the Cornwall blowing engine. These castings were created by Paul Breisch. The bed plate, the cylinder, and the flywheel are all cast bronze. The fittings and rods are mainly stainless steel with some mild steel pieces. The base is a one-piece aluminum casting, and it was cast with the brickwork, the mortar lines put into it. I painted it with a gray primer and then hand painted the bricks. At the time, I only had a 6-inch lathe, so the flywheel was machined on a rotary table. Next up is the Mary beam engine, castings by Reeves. A very elegant beam engine. The main castings, the flywheel, cylinder, steam chest, the beam, bearings, and the top of the columns are all cast bronze. It has a working governor that controls the throttle. The base plate is aluminum, and I polished the top surface of it for the reflective quality. When I first got into steam, I built a lot of Stuart kits. This is the compound launch. Mainly iron pieces with a steel crank and brass fittings. It's outfitted with the reverse. This is a Stuart number 4. As with the Stuart castings, they are mainly cast iron. I used all the BA fittings on it, the bolts and nuts that came with the kit. Next is another Stuart. This is the twin launch, similar to the compound, with reverse. In the middle is the Stuart S50. Next up is a steam plant that I had created back in the early 80s with the Stuart boiler and hand pump. And it also has the Stuart simplex pump, which doesn't work real well. It tends to cavitate. This is a freelance vertical, almost like the 10V, except I made it on a marine type column, but used the Stuart castings for it. I have a dynamo here that runs off of the Stuart double 10, and the double 10 is hooked to a governor. I use this for running my model sawmill, and that's why I had the governor on it. This is just a Stuart double 10 that was machined and never painted or finished, just part of my collection of engines. Next is a duplex pump that's scratch built. The drawings, I believe, were in Home Shop Machinist many years ago. It pumps a very good stream of water. It runs very well. So this is part of my collection of steam.